Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be upon you. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Today I will express my opinion. I will share my point of view about learning language and improvement of language skill. So, first of all, I would like to talk about a sequence of language learning. This is a very common and simple idea, simple system of learning language, that is listening, speaking, then reading, then writing. So this is a very natural format of learning language. If we think about language skill improvement, first of all, we have to be a good listener. Simple, then we'll try to speak. So, in case of communication, listening and speaking is very, very important. What is wrong? What is the common barrier of learning language and improvement of language? This is very simple. We are very worried about language learning and systematic improvement, especially when we are going to talk about anything, when we try to express our opinion in any language, especially if we think about English, then we are very concerned about finding mistake. Now I will give you a very simple example. Simply, I say anybody go to school. Okay, then anybody think about me, about any person, and I simply talk he goes to school. But in case of he goes to school, I say he go to school. So whenever I say he go to school, we are very concerned about finding mistake, whether it will do or does, whether it will go or goes. So this is a very common barrier of improvement. We are very concerned about finding mistakes. So as a beginner, as a learner, we should avoid this mentality. We have to improve. We'll do a lot of mistake, but day by day this mistake will reduce, will improve. So those who are interested about learning any language, first of all, he or she should mindset, and as a language learner, fashion is very much important. Now I will say about barrier, systematic fault of learning language, that is supportive environment, and another one is try to finding fault or worried about mistake. So supportive environment is very important for learning language, improvement of language skill. So those who are interested, those who are feel like develop language skill, any language skill, whether it is English, Japanese, Chinese, Germany, Italian, no matter. First of all, we have to set a goal that I will learn this language. Now a lot of materials are available in online. So for developing, for learning language, we need, first of all, we need listening, then try to speaking, then other two modules according to the necessity, reading and writing. Why I just talk about first two things, listening and speaking, because as a communicativeness medium, listening and speaking is most important. Simply those who are in Middle East country, they know two method of medium of communication in a language. They are capable to listening and speaking, so they are able to communicate smoothly, and they do their task smoothly. So it's very clear to all of us, as a language learner, we should fashionable, we should mindset, we will listen, then we'll try to speak. So it may be anything, any material, it may be what is your interest. Simply a lot of lecture, religious lecture in English, like Nouman Ali Khan, Mufti Ismail Mink, and a lot of other scholars, they delivered this lecture in English. So those who are religious, they can listen this lecture, then this lecture will help them to improve their language skill. Now I will I will express about my observation. Simply, if we talk about English, this is a very common in our educational system. We start learning English at the early stage of our life, when we are familiar with our native language, when we introduced by our parents or family members in any obstacles, any objects, substance. So they talk about the name of object in Bengali as well as English. So at the beginning of our life, when we introduced our mother language alphabet, we as well as we also introduced about, we also familiar with English alphabet, English object name, but we are not able to talk in English, we are not communicate in English smoothly ever when we complete our secondary education level, higher secondary education level, even when our graduate student completed their graduation, they are not able to talk about English, they are not able to smoothly communicate in English. So this is a matter of concern. This is most probably this lack of best cultural practice of learning English, best procedure of learning language. So we should recover, we should think about this, we should make a proper procedure, make a proper environment and culture to learning language. English is a very important, English is a very common language for any purpose, whether for getting a better job, for in case of higher education, in case of research, those especially it's depend on a person, a position. Those who need a simply work, they need a communication. So they listening and speaking ability is enough. For simply if we think about labor work, but when you will try to get a better job, then you need a skill in 4 modules like listening, speaking, reading and writing. These 4 modules give you a potential skill in English, and it will give you support for getting a good position. So if we think about research and higher education opportunity, then it's a very important. In English, 4 module skill should be developed. So I will request all of you, those who are very interesting, those who are very interested about learning language, please refresh your mind, try to learn, try to practice, try to express, এবং isolate or release any idea. You will do a lot of mistake, and then this mistake will recover. Okay, so most probably my discussion you're most of all those who will listen, you are introduced about this, but I am just trying to express my opinion. Most probably this opinion will help for many well wisher, many supportive, many friends, many brothers. So at the end of discussion, I will request requesting to all of you. I am requested to all of you, please pray for me. Thank you all.